What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another edition of 717 Sports Chat Live. I'm your host, Marcus J. Witherspoon, as well as with my cousin, Roberto P. How's everybody doing tonight? What's going on, cuz?
None chilling.
Yeah, same here, man. It's another long day of work. You know what I mean? Kind of tired today. Usually I ain't even this tired, but I ain't even gonna lie. I'm pretty tired tonight. I'm ready to do this,
Ever since the
talk
time
about
change,
what
I've
we
been
got to
tired.
talk about, and relax, man. I
Yeah.
ain't even gonna lie. But for today's topics, we're going to talk about Canelo Alvarez pulling the shocker moving. He's going to vacate his 168-pound undisputed super middleweight titles that he just unified against Caleb Plant and move two weight classes up. Keep in mind, he did win a title at 175, so that is already crossed off the board. But he's going to now move two weight classes up to cruiserweight to fight get his first name, but Macabu. I just want to call him Macabu. You know what I mean? Who is a champion at cruiserweight and who is a banger in his own right. You know what I mean? So we're gonna talk about that because that's like the biggest story of the week, honestly, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And we also gonna talk about Henry Ruggs misses an alcohol test, supposed to appear before a judge. There's another thing we're going to add to that as well as that little topic. Another thing I just talked to Man about before we got on the stream. You know what I mean? And I want to talk about that because it's something that's worth talking about because it's obvious, you know what I mean, that incident that just happened with him, it's obvious it's not enough and it's worth note to talk about. And then we also go for the last topic. We're going to talk about Joe Flacco to start over Mike White thoughts for the New York Jets. And before we get into that later, I'm just going to say this is why the New York Jets are a very terrible team. You know what I mean? And I'm going to explain why later. But if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification icon to get all the latest content updates. We're going to start off here with the biggest news so far of the week in the sports world. Now, soon to be former undisputed super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez is moving his talents up to two weight classes to the cruiserweight division to fight champion. I think his name is Isak Makabu. We say he holds the WBO title. That's WBO. One thing I've come to learn, man, is Canelo's organization. They love him. They do whatever he wants. They get him whatever belt, whatever champion, whatever fight he wants. He's like the mandatory whatever weight class. So, I mean, obviously, this is a really shocking move. Everybody, including myself and yourself, thought that David Benavidez was going to be next. You know what I mean? There's been that fight has been talked about for a few years. You know what I mean? About those two clashing that. Everybody wanted to see that fight because a lot of people felt that Benavidez, especially around that weight division between 160 and 168, even 175, because we know that Benavidez has had troubles making 168, that Benavidez could give Canelo the most problems. With that being said, and there was obviously other fights with Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, you know what I mean? So he just left all those fights off the table and decided to move to cruiserweight. What are your thoughts on this move by Canelo Alvarez? What does him deciding not to fight? Because in all honesty, the bigger money is where he was at. You know what I mean? With Jamar Charlo, if he finally decided to grow a pair and move up. If GGG decided, all right, you know what, I'll move up. Benavidez, that's three fights right there that easily generates money. Now, I mean, either way, people are going to buy his fights, especially his loyal fan base. I mean, but now you're going to fight two weight classes above and fight a guy. Now, I will say this: he's not the best technically sound, but man, can he crack? And he's a lot heavier than you. Even though Canelo, like I said to you before, he does walk around probably like 185, 190. This guy is easily he's stepping in at 199, 200, and he's probably weighing like 215, 220. So, with that being said, what are your thoughts on Canelo Alvarez's move to cruiserweight? Do you think it's just to chase a fifth world title, or do you think he did this to avoid some of those fights at 168 that were on the horizon?
Nah, I think he's doing it for his legacy. I think he wants to collect his fifth world title. You know, I think he's gonna get smashed. I think he's gonna think, you know, cruiserweight is it's a different world versus when you're going against middleweights and welterweights, and like them boys hit a lot harder and are a lot bigger. And the thing is, will his power go carry on the cruiserweight? We don't know. Yeah, we don't know if he's still going to have the same power going to cruiserweight. So I think he's going to get smashed.
I think, I mean, one, and this is for all the Canelo fans out there that like to, clown Mayweather and say he was a cherry picker. You know what I mean? This and that. My thing is this. Marius Bradis, who is the unified cruiserweight champion, is the one who called Canelo Alvarez out. Why not fight him? I tell you why. Because Macaboo is an easier fight. Macaboo's not that good of a skilled boxer. He's a banger. You know what I mean? And if Canelo can take that shot, can take that power, you know what I mean, from Macaboo, and eat those shots, he can eventually do what he does to everybody else, which is walk them down, go to the body, and then set up for the kill, especially if his power carries to that weight. Now, I also think this is also where we might see him adopt a different approach. We might see for the first time Canelo Alvarez truly box. Like, and I'm talking about in terms of not coming forward, in terms of fighting off the back foot, using more head movement, using more feints, using more elusiveness because of the opponent being so much bigger than him. You know, we've seen that when Roy Jones Jr. moved up. Roy Jones Jr., what did he do best in that fight against John Ruiz? If you ever watched that fight, man, he used his speed. Use my speed to stay on the outside. If I'm faster than him and if I get in, get out, there's nothing he can do about it. I am for some reason think this is the approach that Canelo Alvarez is going to take, especially if he does get hit by Macaboo and don't like it. I think that's definitely the approach we might see him taking this next fight against Macaboo in terms of, how the fight might play out. Because, like you said, the power is definitely going to be different. You know what I mean? I can't just see Canelo thinking that he's just going to walk him down like he does everybody else at those lower weight classes. It's almost, to me, virtually impossible unless you're going to come in thrashing like Mike Tyson did. You know what I mean? That's like, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I think we might see his trainer Eddie Reynoso, adopt more of a elusive boxing style in this fight. You know what I mean? Stick and move. We might even see more jabs come out of Canelo. And that's why I mean, because Macaboo, much to his discredit, he's not a mobile fighter. He's a banger. He's going to be looking to bang. And that's one thing we can count on in this fight, is that if Macaboo can get close, we might see an exciting fight. You know what I mean? We might see an exciting fight. You know what I mean? Because if he can get close, he's going to bang away. Because he don't have no real boxing skill. That's his only hope. He has to bang away. But Canelo does have to hope that he can take that power, because that's one thing about Macaboo. Junior Macaboo, that's his name. Junior Macaboo. I got it. Finally got it. One he finally registers after a while talking about it. If Junior Macaboo can land on him clean, we might see the first knockout of this man's career because that boy does hit. You ever see McAboo fight?
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, he hits. I'll give him that. He's strong. Like, you know what I mean? He hits hard. But he does lack technical boxing skill. I mean, so it's going to be interesting to see how this fight plays out. But I remember I told you before we got on here, there's an underlying meaning to why he's doing this. You know what I mean? I sat there and I thought, huh?
There we go. The big
There's a
mystery.
reason. I don't think it's legacy. It's not legacy, man. It's not. I sat back and I thought, okay, you had three possible you had three legit money fights on the table with Benavidez, a third fight with GGG, or a Charlo fight. Because no matter what people can say about Charlo, he's a draw. You know what I mean? He's a moneymaker. He is. You left that to go 2 weight divisions up to say, I want to make history, keep making history, blah, 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 blah. I'm calling bull jive, as the great Shannon Sharp likes to say. Bull jive. You know what this is, man?
What is it?
This is an exhibition. Because think about this. He can't, I'm not saying he can't. If he chooses to go back down and weight, he can. But this is going to be detrimental if he does that. If he goes all the way up to cruiserweight, wins, and then tries to come back down and weight, he is going to lose a lot. He's going to lose a lot of reflex. I don't see him doing so. Once he left 154, the main reason why he left 154 and why he left 160, because he got tired of cutting weight. You know what I mean? He's not going to want to recut all that weight. You know what this is? It's a setup. It's a setup for something that he kept denying, but that he even realizes it's inevitable to happen, especially if the guy can go out and win this next fight and prove people wrong. If Jake Paul beats Tommy Fury,
stop!
No, this is it.
No, my God!
This is it.
No,
I'm telling you.
Goodness.
I'm telling you. Listen to why I'm saying this, man. Think about it from this standpoint. Honestly, when you look at the boxing landscape, right? Okay, yeah, Benavidez makes some money. Yeah, Charlo makes some money. Yeah, a third fight with GGG makes some money. This McAboo fight, not really. But if he wins at cruiserweight, he's not going to want to cut all that weight back down. What else bigger money fight out there is there for him? If Jake Paul can beat Tommy Fury, this is all if Jake Paul can beat Tommy Fury. Now you can't say this young man ain't a boxer. You can't.
Man. No.
You can't, though. If he beats Tommy Fury, who is a boxer, who has skills, and he does, he comes from a boxing family, man. You got to think about this. It's all about money. Canelo could talk about legacy, this, legacy, all that, whatever. That peso also talks too. And when you really look at it, if Jake Paul beats Tommy Fury, he's a cruiserweight. You know that is going to be his leverage point to be like, I want Canelo. And a lot of boxing fans are going to want to see it. Not even just the casual boxing fans like us, the new people that Jake Paul brought in. You might not like it. And I'm not saying I like it per se myself, because we both know what's going to happen.
Jake is going to die.
But
he's going to quit.
But you got to think of it like this, man. Especially if he don't want to cut down weight, can you really see Canelo Alvarez Fighting a heavyweight?
No, I could see him standing in the cruiserweight, getting undisputed, getting the belts, fight somebody, get undisputed.
Not any of those fights at cruiserweight matched the amount of money. Not a one of them.
I don't think he's
And if
doing it for
Jake
money
Paul,
though. I think he's doing it
listen,
for legacy.
if Jake Paul, he could say it's all about legacy all he wants. He's full of it. He's full of it. He wants to talk about legacy, right? He talks about legacy. This is a guy who took over 40 fights to fight somebody legit. Get out of my face. You know what I mean? Get out of my face. It took you over 40 fights to fight somebody legit. It's all about legacy. If it was about legacy, why didn't you fight nobody? You know what I mean? Why didn't you fight nobody? You know what I mean? That was real in your 20th fight, 25th fight. He was coddled, and he's been coddled. You really think about this, man. Look at it like this. How many fights he has now? What?
50, 55, 56, around there.
Something like that. And when you really think about it, Mayweather, Cotto, GGG. It's 3 names.
Freaking, how about May Mosley?
He was finished. Way finished.
But Danny Jacobs?
He's a Hall of Famer.
Amir Khan?
Done.
Amir Khan, Danny Jacobs?
Hey, man.
Come on, man.
Amir Khan was trash. He couldn't take a shot, man. He was damaged goods too. His best win, I want to say his best win, and people could say, I'm going to say Cotto, his best win was GGG. That was it. That's it. Because even old man Cotto gave him a run. Like, listen, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to knock on what this man's doing. He's obviously winning his fights. He's doing what he's got to do. But he can talk about legacy all at once. When you look at his level of opposition, it's not about legacy. He's padding his record. He's doing the same thing that Julio Cesar Chavez did, cuz everybody calls Julio Cesar Chavez this great Mexican legend, this and this and that. Bull crap. I'm not saying he's not, but a lot of his fights were against taxi cab drivers. And that's the truth. When you go back and look at Julio Cesar Chavez's record, his opponent's records, they were bums. They had no reason to be in the ring with him. Just like Canelo, it took Julio Cesar Chavez over 40-something fights to fight somebody legit. Like, and a lot of Canelo fans want to sit there and be like, Mayweather this, Mayweather that. Hey, Mayweather was fighting Hall of Famers in his 17th pro fight, winning world titles. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
And in less fights, and this is a stat that I shared on the group page on Facebook, in less fights, Floyd Mayweather has beat more world champions than Canelo Alvarez and Manny Pacquiao. In less fights. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's good. He's going to be called great because there's nobody else really to call great out there other than Tyson Fury. And this is why I say Tyson Fury's pound for pound number 1 over him. You know what I mean? And so, yes, when you got a heavyweight, man, why not? Mike Tyson was in his time. He was the heavyweight champion of the world, considered the pound for pound number 1 fighter in the world.
He ain't beat nobody since he came back.
Huh?
He ain't beat nobody since he came back.
Wilder?
You beat one man, though, and we all know Wilder's not the best boxer. That was easy money for Fury.
It's not his fault.
All you had to watch out for was the big right hand getting knocked out.
Hold on. Is it his fault that the heavyweight division is stale? Well, not stale, but is
You
it
got
his
Anthony
fault that
Joshua, you got Usyk, you got White Ruiz. I'm not saying that he can fight them now,
So let me
but
ask you something. So let
not
me
right
ask you
now. He's
something.
not pound for pound right now.
Oh my God, are you
He ain't beat
crazy?
nobody.
Man,
Who
man,
he beat?
the
Otto
man
Wallin?
defeated.
Come on
He
now.
ended Vladimir Klitschko's 10+ year reign
Yes, he came
at
back.
the.
That's in the past. I'm talking
Oh,
right now.
he ended. No, it doesn't matter. That's
Yes, it
history.
does.
That's history.
But you said pound for pound right now.
And he came out of retirement from being 300,
He ain't
400
beat
pounds.
nobody. He
Hold
ain't
on.
beat
Get
nobody.
out of here.
He ain't beat nobody. He ain't go against no real
Oh my
boxer
God.
yet.
Oh my, his record, his what he's come back to is more impressive than Canelo's.
No, he did not. No, it's not.
Yes.
Who he
You
beat?
just
Otto
don't like
Wallin?
him.
Who he
You
beat?
just
Otto
don't
Wallin?
like him. You just don't
That's a
like him.
competition for him. Otto Wallin
What?
busted his whole face open, man.
And
Otto
it
Wallin busted his
happens.
whole
It's a
face
fight.
open.
And
Nah,
it's
man.
a fight. Get out of
Nah,
here.
man.
Did your
Nah,
boy bust his face open?
overrated, man.
Did
And I
your boy
can't
bust his
wait.
face open?
I can't wait. Say it again.
Did your boy bust his face open?
Nah, it don't matter though. Because we all know Water. We all know Water is not the best boxer.
Yes,
We
he
know he's
is.
not. It's easy
He's the
money
best
for
boxer.
Tyson Fury.
He's the
So
best
listen,
boxer
that
in the world right now.
like
Let me ask you something. What 300, almost 300 pound man do you know can move and juke and jive like that? And we're not just talking about being aggressive and putting his weight on you and beating you up like that. We're talking about boxing skill. 1-2, slick and move, bang bang, move. Come on.
doesn't matter. He didn't beat nobody. It's
Oh
easy
my
to look good
God.
when you go against bums,
Oh my
man.
God. Oh. He cleaned out the entire heavyweight division before.
In the past, not right now.
Hold on. Hold on. He's about to do it again. So
He's
when he
not.
does it again,
Not. Usyk is
who's
going to give him
beating
the
him?
work.
Who's beating him?
Usyk is going to give him
Who's
the
beating
work.
him? Oh
Usyk is
my.
going to give him the work. Usyk is going to give him the work. I'll tell you, Usyk is going to give him the work, man.
Man.
Tyson
I
Fury,
like Usyk. I'm a fan
no,
of Usyk.
Usyk is better than
I'm
Fury,
a
man.
fan of Usyk. It's not
Better.
gonna go. It's not gonna go
Fury is
10 rounds.
overrated. He's overrated.
All right. All right.
He's not that
I
good of a
mean,
boxer. He's just big.
you. Oh,
He's just
he don't. So he
big.
don't have no skill.
No, he don't. He does not. He's just big. He has a very good jab because he has long arms. He's not good. The body, he will get exposed. I'm telling you.
So hold on.
Let a
He
good
don't know
body
how to
shot
use
hit
his
him.
weight.
Let a good body shot hit him.
So
I'm
he
trying
don't
to
know
tell
how to
you.
use his weight.
I ain't seen Tyson Fury get hit by a good body shot in his career yet.
That's not his fault. How's that
Don't
his fault?
matter. It don't
How's that
matter.
his
I
fault?
can't wait. I can't wait till Usyk puts a big freaking body shot on him, and all that fat's gonna jiggle, and
And
he's
I
gonna go
can't wait.
down.
I
He's
can't
not gonna
wait.
want to get up.
I can't wait till my theory is right and Canelo Alvarez is going to fight Jake Paul. If Jake
It's
Paul
not gonna
beats Simon
happen.
Fury,
Jake Paul's a bum. He's a bum.
it's not about being good or being a bum. It's about money.
That will ruin his legacy. That will ruin his legacy. Yes, it would. That would diminish
No, it
everything.
wouldn't.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
Like,
No, it wouldn't. You want to know why it wouldn't?
he'll be better off fighting Kamaru Usman.
You want to know why it wouldn't? No, he wouldn't. He'd
Yeah,
be
he
better
would.
off fighting Jake. No, you want to know
I'll
why?
give him more credit for fighting somebody who has fighting experience than Jake Paul. Jake Paul's a bum.
Jake Paul keeps beating these MMA guys though.
But he ain't, come on, man. Cherry picking. You know this. Ben Askren was not, he was never a good striker, man.
Yeah,
He could never
so
punch.
Tyron Woodley had a good. Tyron Woodley was okay.
Man, should have lost
I'm
that.
just saying what the facts is, man. I don't like it any more than you do. You know what I mean? But the fact is this. Okay, so let me say this. What if Jake Paul not only goes and beats Tommy Fury? What if he knocks him out? Oh, now we talking a different conversation. We talking a whole different conversation, aren't we?
Professional boxers to not know
Man.
TV analyst Tommy Fury.
Listen,
Fight somebody who is really like in the sport. If you want to become a boxer, start from the ground up. Start really fighting people. Start really fighting boxers.
hold on.
Like, and for real, really fight boxers.
Much to
Not
his
like,
credit, this is how a lot of real boxers start off too. Fighting bums, fighting club fighters, fighting guys who aren't really skilled.
but fight somebody who at least boxes though.
He does. Tommy Fury does box.
But he's a bum. I'm sorry. I'm scared to say it, but he is a bum.
But he's got skills?
No, he does not.
You
He
ain't
does
see that
not.
hand speed?
He
You didn't
sucks.
see the way he
He's
can
slow.
put combinations together.
He's slow. He sucks. He has no defense.
He don't have no defense.
He sucks.
He don't have no defense. He don't have no defense. But you're wrong about him being slow. He's actually fast.
Fury is carrying the family name.
Okay,
if Tommy didn't have the Fury behind the Tommy would not be fighting Jake Paul right now.
Taking away what Tommy Fury does have. He does have fast hands. Does he have the best defense? No, he doesn't. But he does have fast hands, and he does have good combinations. He does. You know what I mean? What I will say this about Tommy Fury
he also does have a brother.
What concerns me with Tommy Fury is that I don't know if he has legit knockout power. You know what I mean?
And he don't got no power.
Man, you just don't like this dude.
Power.
You don't like none of them.
I don't. Tommy Fury, they're all bums. Every single last one of them. I don't want to watch these fights. I don't want to watch them because I know the outcome. Canelo was going to knock him out.
Hold on, but you're the one who was talking about Logan Paul going to beat Floyd Mayweather. But you don't watch these fights.
He's old. I like Logan Paul because Logan Paul, when you watch a fight for him, you know you're not watching it for real boxing. You're watching it for entertainment. Jake Paul really wants to be a real boxer.
I'm watching it to be entertained. I'm watching it to be entertained to watch Canelo destroy Jake Paul.
That's not entertaining. That's murder. That's murder. That's legal murder.
It's not.
Yes, it is. I don't want to see that.
All right.
So I don't want to see that.
Man. So let's say Jake Paul, right, knocks out Tommy Fury. Listen, let's just go with that premise. You know, him and his fandom is going to be calling for Canelo. You know this. I beat a real, listen to what I'm saying. I beat a real boxer, Canelo. Now you can't turn me down. I'll give you this. I'll throw this much money on it. Listen, man, like I said, he can talk about his money all he want, legacy. I mean, he can talk about his legacy all he want too. It's also about securing that bag for your family. That bag would, honestly, that would be the biggest paycheck he's earned since Mayweather. Just because of the viewers who's going to watch that. Doesn't matter if we know how it's going to go.
I would be truly petrified if that fight happens. I would be scared for Jake Paul. I wouldn't even want to watch it. I wouldn't even want to watch it. It's going to be legal murder. It's going to be legal murder. I hope Jake Paul goes down early and don't get back up. Because if he do, his face is going to he's going to break his face. He's going to break his face.
Jake Paul, listen, hold on. Jake Paul does have a distinct height and arm reach advantage. And let me ask you something. What happens? Let me ask you something.
No, you're not about to say this, man. You know you're being delusional right now.
I'm not being delusional. I'm just asking you a question. I just want to know your honest opinion. What happens, right? All right, if Jake Paul knocks out Tommy Fury, and Canelo beats McAboo and actually gives Jake Paul a shot, right? What if Jake Paul lands an uppercut and knocks Canelo out? What would you say? What would you say? I wouldn't be. I think I would just look at the TV like this, man. I wouldn't even know what to say. I'd be like, what just happened? I'd probably even say it was fixed. Canelo took a dive.
I wouldn't know what to say.
I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't either. Like, man,
Not
I'm
gonna
telling
happen.
you. Listen, there's a reason for everything. He's not going back down to 168. He's not going back down to 175. It's not happening. All right, I'll put it this way. If he comes in anything 190 or above, he's not going back down to 175 or 168. If he comes in at a light 180, 185, he's staying around super middleweight. Because that's the thing, is that once you go past 175, you can label yourself a cruiserweight. So he can come into the fight against Makabu 180 and be considered a cruiserweight. But I'm saying this now. If he shows up against Makabu and he's 190 or weighs 190 or more, he's not moving back down to 168. And he's not moving back down to 175 neither.
I'm still on the fact that you just said that. What if Jake Paul lands an uppercut and knocks Canelo out? I'm really thinking about that. I can't stop thinking about it.
I mean, Canelo does like to dip low.
Imagine what that does to his legacy. that destroys everything. Legacy? Are you serious?
What legacy?
Canelo's
he has no legacy. He has a bunch of fights against a bunch of bums. He has no legacy. I said it. He has no legacy.
Yo, man.
He has no legacy.
You're bugging.
I'm being serious.
You're bugging.
He has no legacy.
Bro. Who would beat Canelo then? Who would have beat Canelo if he would have fought?
I told you, Demetrius Andrade. That's why I was scared to fight him. Yep. I told you.
He's a bum. Who is he?
No, he's not.
Who is he?
About? He's a former Olympic gold medalist.
So? Don't mean nothing.
And he's undefeated. And he offered Canelo Alvarez $40 million to fight him. Now, if he was so easy to beat, if he's a bum, why didn't Canelo take the fight? He's better than Caleb Plant.
Options. He's better
than Caleb Plant.
Huh?
He's better than Caleb Plant.
No, he's not.
Yes, he
Stop
is.
It. No, he's not.
Oh, my God. You ever watch him fight?
Destroy him. Would destroy him.
I like Caleb Plant a lot.
And that's also
Caleb Plant wouldn't touch him. Wouldn't touch him.
And that's also a fight that I would like to see.
Wouldn't touch him.
Demetrius Andrade wouldn't touch him.
No, you're wrong.
I've heard so much delusion.
You don't know about Boo Boo. You don't know nothing about Boo Boo. Wait till Boo Boo come up.
I've seen his highlights.
There's a reason Canelo ducked.
I was not impressed. There's a reason
Canelo ducked. There's a reason Canelo ducked. Simple and plain.
He's boring.
I don't want to hear that. Same was said about Caleb Plant. I don't want to hear about that boring. Bro. No, you want to know what that boring is? Is these real boxers who will make him miss punches. He don't like that. He wants guys who's going to stand in front of him so he can counter off of them.
But you said this against Caleb Plant, and what happened?
He got caught with and what? Hold on. Wasn't Caleb Plant winning most of that fight?
Huh?
Wasn't Caleb Plant winning most of that fight till he got caught with that one lucky shot?
Yeah, I understand, but it don't matter though. He still lost. He still got knocked out.
I mean, but it does matter.
And it wasn't a lucky shot.
I told you it matters from a standpoint that this type of fighter gives him problems. He don't like these guys who aren't going to stand in front of him. This is why every time he fights a guy
Knocks
like
him out
this,
though. Knocks him
huh?
out though.
Huh?
Knocks him out though.
No, he don't knock all of them out. He didn't knock Austin Trout out. He
But he
didn't knock
won
Laura
though.
out. Laura beat him and he got
He won
robbed.
though. He won though.
He got robbed. Laura beat him and he got robbed.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I don't
I
care.
don't want to hear that coulda,
Still
shoulda,
won.
woulda.
He still won.
Coulda, woulda.
He
I
still
don't wanna hear that.
won.
Your guy be getting stuff rigged for him.
No
Canelo be getting
excuses.
stuff rigged for
No
him.
excuses.
Ain't no
No
excuses.
excuses.
You even saw it against GGG the first fight. Yeah, exactly. You saw it. I don't want to hear it.
Yo.
You saw it.
Yo, and
Yeah,
then why
you
every,
know
then
it.
why every YouTube channel you put on the highlights, you show nothing but Canelo highlights
Oh
in the
my
first
God.
fight.
Don't do that.
It's hard to find Gennady Golovkin highlights in the first fight. I thought Gennady won. I'm just saying.
Because everything's so Canelo biased. That's why everything is so Canelo biased. That's why, I'll be honest, that's why I can't stand him. You know what I mean? Because, and you even seen it against Caleb Plant. The commentary, everything. He'll sit there and say, big right hand by Canelo.
And it hit the glove.
And he missed. You messing with the public's perception of the fight. That's why I don't like him.
But greatness is greatness, and you gotta respect it either you like it or not.
No.
Deep down inside, you respect it.
No, he's not.
I know
great.
you do.
He's not great.
I know you do.
He's a very good fighter.
He's gonna go down in one of the top 10.
He's not great. He's
very
gonna
good.
Go down in one of the top 10, if not the greatest.
He don't got enough great fighters
on his resume to say he's great.
He's going to go down in the top 5, if not the number 1 best Mexican fighter we have ever seen.
He shouldn't.
I mean,
he shouldn't.
A lot of
Morales fought better fighters than him.
Say it again.
Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera fought better fighters than him. Hell, Juan Manuel Marquez.
But they lost. They lost.
Doesn't matter. He got a loss too.
They lost.
He got a loss too.
But he lost to one of the best generational boxing talents the world has ever seen.
Doesn't matter. He still got a loss. So, hold on. So, Eric Morales and Barrera losing to Manny Pacquiao. He's a generational talent.
But
they
he ain't no Floyd
Mayweather fighters than
he ain't
him.
no Floyd Mayweather, though.
Who?
He ain't no Floyd Money Mayweather, though.
But he's still a generational talent.
He's not. The boy got 7 losses.
Doesn't matter.
He's a bum.
You can't always look at wins and losses as everything that matters. You got to look at what that man did. Coming up from 110 pounds all the way up to 154. Come on,
He had a moment.
What?
He had a moment in time that was great.
He didn't just have a moment. He had a run.
He had a moment.
He had a run. He had a moment,
and he made it last the longest he could.
He had a run. He had a run.
Pacquiao is something's overrated. He is so overrated.
He had a run.
He has no boxing skill.
Hell, even Pacquiao has better opponents under his sleeve than this guy.
All his technique is so soundly off.
Doesn't matter. Is Manny Pacquiao's resume not better than Canelo Alvarez?
No, it's not.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
We're not going to act like he didn't beat Nate Mosley, Miguel Cotto, Danny Jacobs. Like he didn't fight Floyd Mayweather.
Hold on. His resume ain't better than Canelo's, right? But let me ask you this. If Canelo's so much better, how come Canelo couldn't knock out Cotto, but Manny stopped Cotto?
That don't matter.
Yeah, it does. He beat Cotto in his prime at that.
It don't matter.
Oh my God.
That's like saying.
Oh my God.
That's like saying.
He's beaten more world champions. He's beaten more Hall of Fame fighters. How can you say his resume is not better?
It's not better.
Oh my God.
Not better because he lost. He lost a lot.
He also won a lot too. He won like 69 fights.
He didn't even fight 69 fights. That's delusion.
Yes, he fought over 70 fights. Y'all look up the box record right now.
He fought 72.
See? Won over 60 fights. So you mean to tell me winning over 60 fights and you only got 7 losses, that's bad? That's bad. That's bad.
Yes.
How?
It is. How couldn't you call yourself a great when you have 7 losses? How?
Because he fought great fighters.
How many Pacquiao win against a boxer? And I'm not talking about
he beat elite fighters and he lost to elite fighters. It happens.
A boxer, a purebred boxer. He sucks against him.
Yep.
He doesn't look the same against him.
He doesn't look the same. The same flaw Canelo has. He don't like pure boxers. He wants some guys to stand in front of him, just like Manny Pacquiao. You right.
Caleb Plants and a purebred boxer.
That's what I just said. Your guy Canelo don't like pure boxers. He wants guys to stand in front of him.
He knocks him out.
So did Manny.
He sucks though.
He
sucks. He is so awkward in his punches that he sneaks them in.
But they worked, didn't they? Didn't they knock people out? Did you see what he did to Ricky Hatton?
Ricky Hatton's a bum. He's a bum. Come on now. How dare you say his name in this conversation? How dare you say his name in this conversation?
Man. So him stretching Ricky Hatton like that wasn't impressive though.
No.
Oh my God.
Floyd Mayweather did it better.
No, he didn't.
He did it better.
Man.
He was like, boom.
Oh my God.
His head smacked against the freaking
man. That was cool and all. That was cool.
Man look like a joke.
That was a nice, sweet knockout for Floyd. This man landed on the button and put him on snooze control. He was stiff. When Mayweather put him down, he got up.
Floyd Mayweather. But that's what I'm saying though. Floyd Mayweather made him look like a clown and get up and live. Yeah. And he let him live in his embarrassment. He let him get up to his embarrassment.
Manny murdered him. He laid that boy stiff.
Look what Floyd did to freaking Manny Pacquiao. Floyd embarrassed Manny Pacquiao.
Oh my God.
He embarrassed him. Straight embarrassed him.
That doesn't defeat the fact that Manny Pacquiao, Eric Morales, and Marco Antonio Barrera all have better resumes than Canelo Alvarez. And it's the truth. They've all fought more. They've all fought more world champions, and they've all fought more Hall of Fame fighters.
Well, Canelo's career ain't over yet.
Huh?
His career ain't over yet.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, as of right now. All right, as of right now, right?
Yep.
So he's fought 2 Hall of Famers in Floyd and Cotto. GGG's a possible. He should because of his amateur record. You know what I mean? He should because his amateur record was crazy. He had like 360 something wins and only 5 losses. So he should get in the Hall of Fame. So we'll just go with 3. What other fighter out there right now do you see being a Hall of Fame fighter that Canelo can be?
Danny Jacobs?
No.
Amir Khan?
No. Stop it.
I'm playing with you. Amir Khan.
Stop. There's nobody else.
Shane Mosley?
Shane Mosley's a Hall of Okay, so we'll count him because he's a Hall of Famer, but he was washed. You know what I mean? Okay, but he is a Hall of Famer. So 4 Hall of Famers. And you fought over 50 fights.
You're delusional, man.
Oh my God. So who here Who now is going to be a Hall of Famer that Canelo can beat? Because I don't see nobody else. There's nobody else. I don't think the Charlos will go down as Hall of Famers.
Yeah, he will.
Who?
And Plant will go down as a Hall of Famer as well.
That still remains to be seen. His career is still young. We'll see.
He will.
We'll see. We'll see.
Canelo ain't beat Chavez Jr.
Huh?
He ain't beat Chavez Jr.
Oh my!
Come on, man. That's a Hall of Famer.
Man. That don't even count.
Yeah, dude. Yes, it does.
No,
come on now.
Don't.
Come on.
He's nobody. Just because his dad's name? He wasn't nobody.
Nah,
Sergio Martinez dusted him off.
That's a Hall of Famer.
Who?
Chavez Jr. is a Hall of Famer.
No, he is not.
Yes, he is.
No, he is not. Even after his dad. No.
He really is.
Oh, my God. Man. You talk about me being delusional. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is not a Hall of Famer. No way. His dad is.
He didn't beat Kirkland.
His dad is.
He didn't beat
Kirkland.
Kirkland.
But not him.
He didn't beat Kirkland.
Man. Kirkland was. Oh my God.
That's a Hall of Famer,
was coming off what, like a 2-3 year layoff?
Come on, man. That's a Hall of Famer, man.
Yeah, now you're messing with me.
I'm not messing with you. I'm dead serious.
No, Kirkland's not a Hall of Famer.
I am dead serious.
No, he's not.
He is.
Get it out of your head. No, he's not.
He is.
No, he's not. What is your definition of a Hall of Famer? A guy who wins a trinket belt that hadn't fought nobodies?
Bro, he fought Kovalev. He ain't beat Kovalev. That's a Hall of Famer.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He is not a Hall of Famer. He hasn't beaten any Hall of Famers. He hasn't beaten any real elite fighters to be called a Hall of Famer. He had a good couple years being the top guy at 175, knocking some good guys out. That's it. I'll tell you who I would like to see Canelo fight, though, but I don't think he'd ever come out of retirement. Andre Ward. Andre Ward give me the work.
He'll embarrass him.
Oh my God. All right, you know what? That's our thoughts for this. But I'm being dead serious though. When I say what I say.
I'm dead serious.
He's gonna beat McAboo. He's gonna beat McAboo. And then we're gonna get Jake Paul versus Canelo Alvarez. If Jake Paul beats Tommy Fury, it's gonna be Jake Paul versus Canelo Alvarez for the WBO Cruiserweight Championship. Live on Showtime pay-per-view. You heard it here first. It's on 717 Sports Chat Live. Book it. I'm calling it. If Jake Paul beats Tommy Fury, not even that, if he knocks out Tommy Fury, because I almost feel like he has to knock him out to get that fight. Would you agree? To even make an argument, yes, he has to knock him out. So, man, could you imagine the promotional build-up for that?
Yeah.
How mad would you be?
I wouldn't be mad. I'd just be scared.
I'm not going to lie. Can I be honest? I'm starting to like the chaos.
The Jake Paul?
Yeah, I'm starting to like it. I don't know why. I'm starting to like it. It's scary.
It brings the excitement back to boxing.
It's just funny because I ain't gonna lie, he is funny. He is funny. He's entertaining. He's entertaining. He is entertaining. I do like Logan a lot more. Because like you said, what I like about Logan is kind of like the same thing. I just want to do this just to do it. Just to say, I cross it off my bucket list.
Yeah.
So I will say that. I really like that about Logan. All right, we're going to move on now we're gonna bust these last two topics out the way real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here for the night. Henry Ruggs misses his alcohol test to appear before a judge, but also he's catching a lot of flack on social media and just around the world. I mean, well, around America, period. For apparently he posted bail, his $175,000 bail, and he was caught playing on NBA 2K live online. And one, I mean, me being a Raiders fan and obviously being linked to this young man, I think he has a deep problem, and that he needs to. I think the only way for him to get true help is maybe to be incarcerated. You know what I mean? Because okay, you're on house arrest, but you still miss your alcohol test that you're supposed to take at your house. What does that tell us? He's drinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now
Or
you have to
don't
appear
care.
before a judge. Then, okay, you're on house arrest. You're at home. You have nothing other to do. So you're playing NBA 2K. And I'm not saying, hey, you're a grown man. You're going to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But that just does not look good. Like, it look, especially for your trial, that just looks like you have no remorse, like no care for what you did. Like, oh, just another day, another day in life. I'm just gonna turn on my game and play NBA 2K.
And I think we we know he cares, but it doesn't look good.
I mean, I'm not. I'm gonna say I want to say he cares, but at the same time, it's just like that is pretty low. I'm not sitting there saying you can't be a man and go enjoy yourself. I mean, you got to enjoy yourself. I mean, then again, I guess we're kind of being unfair because this guy is facing 2 to 20 years in prison. So, I mean,
He's like, listen, if I'm gonna get 20 years, I'm gonna do what I can.
at least I'm going to play my game.
I'm
Like,
gonna play okay.
he might not ever get the chance to play another video game again.
That's not
So,
funny, man. That's not funny, man. I'm gonna enjoy this
know,
time. I'm gonna enjoy this time now. Yo.
we're messed up. But that's serious. But that's serious. I had to think about that for a second. Like, well, wait a minute. This guy is going to jail probably for a long time. Well, now he's stupid though, because you could have sat there if you can at least show some type of like remorse, and one, you're missing your alcohol test, so that means you're not taking this seriously. You know what I mean? Which is going to look bad, even worse in trial. Then you're just at home playing the game. Like they're gonna look at it like, oh, you don't care what you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so, but at the same time, it's like I guess in his thought process, it's like regardless to whether they think I care or whether I did it intentional or not, I'm going away for wherever, so I'm just gonna rock out. Like
Yeah.
it's sad, man.
Yeah.
I definitely never would have thought this was how a year and a half in to the Henry Ruggs tenure with the Raiders that this is how it would have ended. I never did. It was so funny because when we beat the Eagles, there was that picture of social media going around where him and Devontae Smith did they thing that they did in Alabama, the high five jump or whatever. And I tagged my buddy Alex in it on the group page, and I said, man, I'll be honest, outside of, us, beating you like no trash talk, I really feel like we got two really good young studs for the future. And I think, the future looks bright for both of these young men. And then 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a sad situation, but he's not helping his cause at all. You know what I mean? But hey, it's him, it's his choice. It's his choices, so he's got to deal with those consequences. All right, last part of this stream for tonight. Joe Flacco to start over Mike White for the New York Jets. What are your thoughts on this one? Like,
they don't want to win.
It's not even that they don't want to win. All right, my thing is this. You want Zach Wilson as their quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Mike White has shown that he's pretty capable of playing. You know what I mean? With that
And
being
winning
said,
games and putting
with
up
that
numbers.
with that being said, why would you bench him for an aging veteran who's not? Joe's not
Stop.
competing
Just
for
watch.
no start. He's not competing for no starting job. You know what I mean? He's not competing for no starting job. You can at least let Mike White start as much as possible. And if he keeps playing well, you could have traded him and got some value. Like, that's how you do that. That's what I call the Rob Johnson effect. That's what happened back in, I want to say, 1996 with Rob Johnson. Mark Brunell went down with an injury, and Rob Johnson came in, his backup quarterback, and balled out for the time that Brunell was out. And that led to Rob Johnson getting a big contract by the Buffalo Bills at that time. The year later, anyway. So it's like, you could at least let's see what this guy has to offer, and if he continues to play well, maybe, just maybe, we can turn him into at least a third-round pick. Trade him and get a third-round pick or a second-round pick back for me. I want to say second because that's a little steep, but a third-rounder, especially if he were to keep balling, they could have got some value back for him, and I think they made the big mistake on this one because, like I said, Joe Flacco, what is he going to do?
Lose you games.
He's not competing for no starting jobs. He's not looking to be your long-term solution. He's not
I
even
don't know.
really
I don't know. If we down in Washington, want to pick him up. That's just what Washington does. Dan Snyder written all over it. Let's go get Joe Flacco. He's gonna, get us to a Super Bowl.
a veteran quarterback. Yeah, you're not lying. That's basically been an MO. I will
Dan
say
Snyder
this.
written all over it.
I will say this. The Washington football team had Alex Smith would have never hurt his leg that year.
I think they could have did something.
They could have did something. They had the defense. The offense was clicking. Like, they could have did something.
And
If Alex
it's
Smith,
bad. It's bad when a Washington fan doesn't even have a reaction. My dad didn't care. Like, he just so used to this. He was so used to it. I felt bad for his quarterback breaking his leg. He didn't even care. He was like, well, our season's over. He's like, well, our season's over. He didn't even care. He's used to this.
he's used to this.
That's just the culture.
That's just the culture.
That's just the Washington culture.
That's just the culture. I know that's right. But like I said, this is obviously the culture of the Jets. Make stupid decisions, and when you can sit there and start this young quarterback and let him get some run and maybe get some value for him. Uh-oh. You lagging over there, pal. I think we did lose you over here. But it's all right. We're about to be off of this anyway and stuff. But that's our thoughts, on Joe Flacco and starting over Mike White. You know what I mean? That's our thoughts on all these three topics that we wanted to touch on in this last hour. If you watch this episode, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Support is greatly appreciated, as well as hit that notification icon to get all the latest content update. This is 717 Sports Chat Live. I'm Marcus. That's Roberto. We're out for tonight. Everybody have a nice night.